Hi everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to use CLion. So here it's open. I'm just going to open a project, which is going to be the exercises from the course. So there it is. Just select the CMake list and then open as project, not a single file, and then bam, it's open. All right. So first you can see on the left. Oh no, wait. The very first thing to do is to go to preferences here and change the theme from this lame light theme to the cool Dracula theme. There you go. That's way cooler, right? So yeah, the hierarchy, so which you can explore here on the left, and just open the folders and see what's inside, what kind of packages Santa brought you this year. So yeah, here we have the main CMake list that builds all the sub-projects. So you'll come to see that at each exercise session, you'll have one CMake list that basically builds a standalone project, a smaller project, and you'll have one of these projects, a sub-project, I'd say, per exercise. And this CMake list builds all of them. So if you want to build on CLion, you can go to Build and then Build Project. Here you can see on the bottom that it builds both targets. We have CSV exporter here with this CMake list, and we have grid search here with this CMake list. So yeah, you don't need to understand any how CMake lists actually work. You just need to know that there's one by project and that each of them define at least one target to be built by the overall project. So now that it's built, let's say we want to run it. Then you can go to Run and then Run. Now we can see that we ran CSV exporter. So as you can see here, there's only CSV exporter. So if you want to run grid search instead, you have to go there on the upper right corner and select grid search. And then you can go run grid search. There's also this option to go there and maybe, you can just select whichever you prefer to run. But I guess you can see there's this shortcut here that allows you to run directly with the keyboard. So here on Mac, because I have a Mac and I have Mac. So here it's Control R, and on Windows and Linux it will also be Control R. Right. So now if you look at the output, wait, I'll just run grid search, right? Grid search. As you can see now, it's missing some arguments, right? It says your input should be function index, then lower bound and stuff like that. For instance, grid search 1 minus 10, 10, 10. Okay, so the thing is that now we have nowhere to give the arguments to the program. So what you can do is, for instance, go to terminal. Wait, I'll just copy paste this. So we could just copy this before, right? So now if I go to terminal, so that's basically your usual terminal from the system terminal, and you can just press down this way. Where is it working? All right, it's not working. It's fine. So I'll just take, so it's /grid search and then 1 minus 10, 10, 10. Okay. So I'll just go to the terminal, just check that it's there. It's not. All right, cool. All right, so grid search. So I will just go to grid search. Is it there? It's not. What the hell is going on? Yeah, maybe it's not built there. It's in build. All right. So /build here, build pin, and then grid search. And so the arguments were it was 1 minus 10, 10, 10. And so this time it worked. So if I do, for instance, if I remove the arguments, we have the same output as we had before. So that's one way to set up the arguments. The other way is to go to maybe to run edit configurations, I guess. Right, program arguments, right there. Okay, so here we have grid search. So if I write down as before, so 1 minus 10, 10, 10, as the example shows, and apply this, and now if I press Control R to run, so that way it took in the arguments, as you can see here. Okay, so either you go to terminal and send them manually every time, Either if it's like common arguments that you want to run all the time, you can go to as I showed, to build. Wait, no, there was run with the 3 dots. No, run, and then edit configurations. Then you have yeah, the arguments. I don't know why I'm repeating this, because you can always go back to the time I showed it the first time. But anyway, let's move on. All right. So now there's one pretty cool feature we have on CLion and other similar IDEs, is what I would call go to definition. So for instance, here we have this class called function quadratic 2D, and we see that it inherits from function base. So now if you don't know what function base is, what you can do is that you press command down, or command on macOS, because as I mentioned, I'm rich in hype, and so I have a Mac. But if you have a Windows or Linux, then it will be control. But anyway, so if you press down, then you can see that a small hand appears, and if you click on it, it will directly go to the definition. Bam. So same thing with like a function arguments. For instance, if you go to this function, for instance, you see a mat, you're like, oh, all right, what the hell is this function? What the hell is this class mat? I have no idea. So you just press down control or command and click on it, and bam, you'll go to the definition of mat. And here you can see that it's an eigen matrix type, which you might not know right now, but you'll have to get to know at some point, pretty soon, I'd say. Anyway, so what else? Right. So there's also another pretty cool feature, which is called auto-completion. So if you go to, let's say this main here, let's say I declare a variable that'll be of type vec. It's not finding vec. Why? So you can see here it's red. It means that it doesn't know what it is. And if you go over there, it says, right, so you can't find it. So it's all right. I'll just use something else. Let's say I use eigen vector. There you can see it already shows you its suggestions as to what type to use. So these are all the types the compiler currently knows and knows that you could use. So as you can see, it's either starting with vec or it's just containing vec. For instance, here on the row vectors. So I'll just use, I guess, the vector 3D. Okay, I can just click on it, press enter, and that's it. Now let's call this variable bam, right? Cool name. Let's call it bam even, bam longer name. So now if I go down there and I write bam, as you can see here, it suggests you to complete with bam longer name. So now if I press either enter or tab, it will just auto-complete this variable name. Now let's say I have another variable. Let's make it a matrix, maybe. I'll call bam even longer name. Now if I write bam, you can see that there are both suggestions. So to circulate between them, you can use either the keyboard arrows, which is pretty cool because you don't have to touch the mouse again, or you can go with the mouse and just click on whichever you prefer. All right. Now, as you can see here, there's a warning showing up. It says, what does it say? Insert, because as you can see that it's missing a semicolon to mark the end of the command. So you can press the semicolon. Now it stops complaining. However, it still has this like darker gray color now. And why is that? If we click here, it says remove. So that's just a suggestion as to how to solve the problem. It doesn't tell you exactly what's going on, but basically, if you just put your cursor over the variable name, you'll see what the problem is. It says expression result unused. So, I mean, it makes sense, right? Because this is just doing nothing. So it's completely useless. It should be removed. So here you have the problem shown here. And if you just wait a bit, I guess, if you just double click on it, maybe. Yeah. Now there's a suggestion as to how to solve this problem. So if you just like remove the statement, bam, it goes away, right? So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to show you guys, and girls, of course, today. And I hope you enjoy working with this software. You'll see that it's pretty useful, it saves you a lot of time. And I guess I'll see you at the exam.